What does pricing a home to sell for absolute top dollar and Goldilocks' porridge from the popular children's fairy tale have in common? Stick around for the answer to this video, because if you're thinking about selling your home this spring or summer 2023, getting this wrong can cost you thousands of dollars.
Hi, Kevin Yoder, team leader of Yoder Real Estate, bringing to you valuable information about all things real estate and living and working in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area that you cannot find anywhere else. And if you like this video, make sure you like it and subscribe to it so that you can see more content just like this.
What does pricing a home to sell for top dollar and Goldilocks' porridge have in common? If you recall, she tasted different bowls, and one was too hot, the other was too cold, but one was just right. And this is what you need to do when it comes to pricing your home this spring or summer 2023. You need to nail the price. You need to get it right on the money, not too low, not too high, but just right. And believe it or not, occasionally we'll see a listing that comes on the market and it's underpriced, or I see it a lot with for sale by owners is they use the Zillow Zestimate as the guide. And oftentimes that's extremely high, higher than the market value actually is. But sometimes Zillow has it wrong the other way too, and so the price is lower. Or an agent and a seller get together and they underprice it. They co-conspire to make that happen. And there's a myriad of reasons, and that's not the purpose of this video, but underpricing it does some major damage to the seller's bottom line. So what it does is it discourages buyers, and they think, gosh, what's wrong with this house? And then what's worse is that if you use that like way under strategy, let's say you price it 30, 40, 50,000 under market value, then if an offer comes in, you might end up taking it and you don't even know it. So that's the worst part of that, is if you've underpriced your home and you're not aware of it. And that's what happens a lot with the for sale by owner category, is they're completely unaware because they've used Zillow as their guide, their only actual guide. They didn't do an appraisal and they didn't get a real estate agent's market analysis. They went off of Zillow and they went like this, which way is the wind blowing? Or maybe a neighbor told them, advised them, maybe a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, parent advised them on pricing. So big mistake when it comes to underpricing. What does overpricing do? We see this far more often. We see overpricing happening probably 80% of all the pricing mistakes. It falls in the category of overpricing. You're missing your mark. You're missing your mark. I like to say that it's like an overpriced listing is like a billboard in the middle of the desert. It's beautiful, it's shiny. People would love to look at the marketing message, but in this case, with the house, it's like a billboard in the desert because no one sees it. Someone could live in your home for the next 20 or 30 years. They just don't know it's available. It deters buyers because they either A, aren't finding you in their initial search results. Think about sitting down at your computer and looking for a home for sale. We've all done it, or if you haven't done it, you'll get on Zillow or any of those various websites and you'll search for real estate and you'll go low and high, and you'll cut off that top price and you'll decide. And so it's a lot of times it's a subconscious decision. It just looks right. It's a top price. I'm not going to go dive over that. That's what people do. Or their lender has given them a top price that they can go to. They cut it off. Anything north of that number, that's higher than that number, they don't even know it's available. And it's hard to imagine that a home could be listed and a buyer that would otherwise live in that home doesn't even know it's available. So what happens is that leads to lower showings. You have a lower concentration of showings because less eyeballs on the property. And of course, that leads to potential price reductions down the line. The problem with price reductions is it sends up all sorts of red flags to potential buyers. They see that price reduced. Sometimes I kind of chuckle because an agent will advertise that in big, bold, capital letters in the listing description, as though this is somehow a benefit. It doesn't seem to work that way in a positive psychological way to buyers. It sends up a red flag and says, well, what's wrong with it? Why didn't it sell like the other ones did in a reasonable amount of time? Then there's the just right, pricing it just right. It's Goldilocks' porridge that was just the perfect temperature. It's the home that checks all the boxes for the buyer. They not only find it online, but then they choose of all the homes that are on their computer screen that they want to come out and see it because they've concluded that this looks like it's something that is valued properly, because buyers are pretty smart, pretty savvy creatures. during this, 30-day or up to 6-month window where they're looking every single day, hitting refresh on Zillow, waiting for the new listings to pop up. Buyers know, okay? So you're highly competent agent that's been selling homes for a decade or 8 years or more, 20 years or more they should be an expert at pricing. And so what you want to do is you want to price your home right from the very beginning. I explain to my sellers that a home that is brand new on the market is like a rocket ship coming off of a launch pad. You've got to give it a lot of fuel to get off the launch pad, and you can't mess around with a diluted formula. You could do proper pricing. You could have great photos, beautiful photos. You could have virtual tour. You could have a drone fly over it. You could have all the staging done in the world. All those things are done right. It's a beautiful property. The product is sound, but the price is off by 10 grand. You missed your mark. Example would be it should be at $300,000 or $299,999, and you have it priced at $309,999. There is a major drop off for showings above that 300 mark. You're probably going to lose 80% of your potential buyers, whereas the person that could live in your home could have found it, but they don't find it, and then you're frustrated. So how do you do this? Well, you look at your competition. Your agent should be able to size all this up with you, not telling you what to do, but helping you see it for yourself so that you fully understand the strategy. Look at your competition. Those are the active listings. Those are the listings that when your home is on the market, the buyers will be looking at your home plus those homes. And bread on a shelf, homes on a street, there's not one person in the world that would intentionally overpay for the bread that has one just like it next to it on the shelf. Just for funsies. Doesn't happen. Same with real estate. So look at the competition, look at your market trends, look at buyer demand. What's the demand specifically for that area, that very hyper local area that you live in? Could be your neighborhood or your zip code. What is the condition of your home? These things all matter, and all of this has to be factored into pricing, because you could have a home down the street that's sold for slightly higher price, but the condition was far superior than yours, or vice versa. All of this has to be factored in. Your agent has to be able to clearly articulate the reasons why there's an adjustment upward or downward. And then there's compensating factors. What that means is that there could be a negative compensating factor. In other words, your home is on a busy road, or a positive compensating factor, such as you just had a brand new $50,000, $75,000 kitchen installed. Those are going to add to the overall price point because it falls into the amenity category, or the other one falls into a condition category, and we're going to adjust it downward or upward based on those compensating factors. And of course, when you price it just right on the money, it's going to lead to more showings. More showings lead to more offers, and of course that leads to more money, and it leads to selling the home quickly. Contrary to some people's beliefs, you don't want to be on the market for a long time. If you're someone that says, I'm just going to wait around for the right buyer, remember, there's an inverse relationship between long days on the market and price. Long days on the market lower the price. Longer days on the market, the price is always lower. Always. Every single time. I have looked at thousands of market reports for real estate, and every time that there's a long days on the market right now, you'd say anything over 30 days, fall into that 45-day mark, there's always a lower price reduction strategy in place, and it ends up selling for less than it would have if it would have just been priced right. I really hope you enjoyed this video where we bring the realness back to real estate. You want to squeeze every penny of your hard-earned equity out of your home when you sell it? Connect with us here at Yoder Real Estate. This is what we do best. Go to yoderrealestate.com, fill in a form, and connect with us. We're here to help. We're here to help you protect your hard-earned equity. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel. Like the video, and guess what? Share it with someone you love. Someone that you know wants to protect their equity, get the most amount of money from their home when they sell it this spring, and we'll see you soon.